They called it the eighth wonder of the world, a room shimmering in gold, made entirely of amber, gemstones, and mirrors. But one day, it simply vanished. This is the story of the Amber Room, the world's most dazzling treasure, stolen during World War II and lost to history. Our story begins not in Russia, but in the ambitious heart of 18th century Prussia. Here, King Frederick I, a monarch with a grand vision for his burgeoning kingdom, sought to create a wonder that would rival the opulent courts of Europe. His gaze fell upon a unique treasure native to his Baltic coast: amber. This fossilized resin, often called Baltic gold, had been cherished for centuries. But Frederick envisioned something unprecedented. He didn't just want a collection of amber trinkets. He wanted an entire chamber, a room literally paneled in the sun-kissed stone. The commission was monumental. The project began under the direction of the master sculptor Andreas Schleider, with the intricate amber work entrusted to the Danish craftsman Gottfried Wolfram. For over a decade, artisans toiled, transforming 6 tons of raw amber into a breathtaking mosaic of art and light. They developed new techniques to shape, polish, and bond the fragile material, creating panels adorned with intricate carvings, royal insignia, and Florentine-style mosaics. Each panel was a masterpiece in itself, backed with gold leaf to create a mesmerizing inner glow, making the walls seem to radiate with captured sunlight. But royal fortunes are as fickle as they are grand. When King Frederick I died, his austere son, Frederick William I, ascended the throne. Known as the Soldier King, he had little patience for what he saw as extravagant artistic follies. The Amber Room, still incomplete, was unceremoniously dismantled and packed away into storage, its brilliant future suddenly cast into shadow. It seemed destined to become a forgotten footnote in Prussian history. That is, until a powerful visitor arrived in Prussia, Tsar Peter the Great of Russia. The Tsar was on a mission to modernize his empire, and he was captivated by European art and innovation. During a state visit, Frederick William I, seeking to cement a crucial alliance against Sweden, needed a gift, something truly magnificent for the formidable Tsar. He remembered the forgotten treasure gathering dust in his palace storerooms. The Amber Room was built in the early 1700s in Prussia, and in a stroke of geopolitical genius, it was given as a gift to Tsar Peter the Great of Russia. It wasn't just decoration, it was power, beauty, and diplomacy, all carved into gold and amber. For the Soldier King, it was a brilliant strategic move, offloading an expensive project in exchange for a powerful military alliance. For Peter the Great, it was the ultimate acquisition, a symbol of Western artistry he could bring back to his new capital, St. Petersburg. The precious panels were carefully packed into 18 crates and sent on the arduous journey to Russia. Installed first in the Winter Palace, it would later be moved by Peter's daughter, Empress Elizabeth, to its most famous home, the Catherine Palace near St. Petersburg. Here, the room was expanded and embellished, becoming a breathtaking spectacle of royal wealth. Its walls glowing with over 13,000 pounds of amber and shimmering gold leaf. For 2 centuries, it stood as the pride of the Russian czars, a masterpiece no empire could ignore, and a beacon of artistic achievement. It was considered the 8th wonder of the world. But this symbol of alliance, born from a gesture of peace between Prussia and Russia, was about to find itself at the heart of the most brutal conflict in human history. How could a room, however magnificent, simply vanish from the face of the earth? For 2 centuries, the Amber Room had stood as a monument to peace and artistic collaboration. But in the summer of 1941, that peace was shattered. Operation Barbarossa, the largest invasion in human history, saw Nazi Germany thunder across the Soviet border. As the front line raced towards Leningrad, the Catherine Palace found itself directly in the path of the advancing German army. The palace's curators were faced with an impossible choice: They worked frantically to evacuate the priceless art collections, but the Amber Room presented a unique and heartbreaking problem. After 200 years, the delicate amber panels had become brittle and fragile. Any attempt to dismantle them quickly, without the proper care and time, risked shattering them into a million pieces. In a desperate, last-ditch effort, the staff tried to hide the room in plain sight. They covered the magnificent panels with gauze, then cotton wool, and finally, a layer of simple wallpaper, hoping the invaders would mistake it for an ordinary, unremarkable room. It was a valiant effort, but it was ultimately futile. When the German soldiers arrived, they knew exactly what they were looking for. Under the supervision of the Kunstschutz, the Nazis' art-looting task force, the wallpaper was torn down, revealing the treasure beneath. With chilling efficiency, the soldiers dismantled the entire Amber Room in just 36 hours. The priceless panels were carefully packed into 27 wooden crates and shipped by rail to Königsberg, the capital of East Prussia, now the Russian city of Kaliningrad. For the Nazis, this wasn't just theft. It was a reclamation of what they considered a lost German masterpiece. In Königsberg Castle, the Amber Room was placed under the care of Alfred Rode, a renowned amber expert and the museum's director. It was reassembled and put on public display, a trophy of war and a symbol of German cultural superiority. For a brief period, it once again shone for visitors, albeit under the shadow of the swastika. But the tide of war was turning. By 1944, Allied bombers began to relentlessly pound the city, reducing much of Königsberg to rubble. As the Red Army closed in from the east, panic set in. Rode received orders to evacuate the Amber Room once more. On January 12, 1945, he reported that the panels had been packed away again, ready for transport. This is the last verifiable official record of the complete Amber Room. What happened in the chaotic days that followed, as the city fell, is where the facts begin to blur into legend. The crates were moved from the museum's main hall into the castle's deep cellars to protect them from the bombing. After that moment, the trail goes cold. The city of Königsberg was annihilated. The castle was left a smoldering ruin, and the 27 crates containing the eighth wonder of the world had vanished. It was as if the Amber Room, born from the earth itself, had been swallowed by it once more. The question that has haunted treasure hunters, historians, and governments for over 75 years is not just where it went, but does any piece of it still exist? Some say it was destroyed in the bombings of Königsberg. Others insist it was hidden deep in salt mines or buried under the Baltic Sea. Rumors claim Nazi submarines carried it away, and a few even believe it remains sealed in an underground bunker in Poland or Germany, guarded by time and silence. For decades, treasure hunters, historians, and even governments searched desperately for it. Clues emerged: fragments of amber panels, documents, eyewitness reports. But each lead ended in tragedy or mystery. In 2003, Russian craftsmen built a full replica, unveiled in the Catherine Palace. But the original? Never found. The hunt for the Amber Room didn't end with the Cold War. In fact, it has entered a new, high-tech era. Today, the shovels and pickaxes of the past have been replaced by sophisticated tools that can peer deep beneath the earth. Ground-penetrating radar, LiDAR, and advanced sonar now guide a new generation of explorers, turning historical speculation into a precise, data-driven search. And in recent years, this technology has pointed towards one of the most tantalizing theories of all: the existence of a lost Nazi gold train. The legend resurfaced with a bang in 2015. Two amateur explorers using GPR claimed to have located an entire armored train, sealed within a secret tunnel near the city of Wałbrzych in Poland. The region is riddled with a network of underground tunnels known as Project Reese, a massive unfinished construction project started by the Nazis. The implication was electrifying. This could be one of the fabled loot trains, packed with treasures stolen from across Europe as the Third Reich collapsed. The news sparked a global media frenzy. Could this finally be it? The Polish government took the claims seriously, dispatching military experts and geologists to the site. The world watched, holding its breath as they prepared to excavate. The potential discovery was so significant that authorities had to secure the area to ward off an influx of illegal treasure hunters, all hoping for a piece of the legendary prize. For a few tense months, it seemed the world was on the verge of solving a 70-year-old mystery. But after extensive state-sponsored digging and analysis, the official conclusion was a crushing disappointment. There was no train. The radar anomalies were attributed to natural geological formations. The gold train, it seemed, was just another ghost. Yet, the incident proved that the allure of the Amber Room and other lost Nazi treasures remains as powerful as ever. And the search continues elsewhere. Explorers still probe the forgotten bunkers of the Reich, sometimes claiming to hear strange metallic echoes from behind sealed walls, a tantalizing sign of something hollow, something hidden. Others deploy sonar to scan shipwrecks at the bottom of the Baltic Sea. Each new lead, whether in a forgotten tunnel or a watery grave, reignites the same burning question. While technology makes the search more sophisticated, the earth and sea continue to hold their secrets tight. The Amber Room remains one of the greatest unsolved disappearances in human history, a masterpiece swallowed by war, still waiting to be found. A room of gold, built to celebrate peace, vanished because of war. Somewhere, maybe beneath layers of dust and darkness, the Amber Room still glows, waiting to be rediscovered. Would you dare to search for it? Subscribe for more lost treasures and mysteries that time refused to reveal.